Hey, how we doing? I thought I would post this this morning, and it's taken me all day because I'm all too aware of the diversity of responses and experiences that this pandemic creates. And I am trying to cover my bases and making sure that I am taking care of myself and the people closest to me, my children, and the communities that already exist, and checking in on my family and checking in on my friends and getting into those family arguments, but not really arguments, just awkward conversations, because we all kind of believe different things, and someone's got to quote a scripture and someone else has to quote a poem. Just kidding, I didn't quote a poem. And dipping my hair in bleach as I attempt to sanitize some surfaces. And I just know that likely my artist people, my creative community, we've got a superpower. We've got a superpower to feel feelings. And there's big ones going around. And one thing that I am so good at is knowing how to be afraid. Knowing how to be afraid and show up anyway, with courage and silliness and grace. So, just wanted to give you all, that's right. There's a quote in, or there's a part of a Virginia Woolf novel that says something like, it's almost an insult as an intelligent person to be happy in a world where there is so much pain. And for creative people who use their creative space to draw attention to joyousness and a sort of resilient optimism, carrying the both and of the suffering of this moment, and the debate of this moment can be really hard. Okay, I'm going to try to talk faster. Whew. I woke up yesterday at 3 a.m. with so much pain and churning in my stomach, and just relentless waves of fear, and then gratitude, and then fear, and then, maybe here's how I can help. And I had to spend the day leaning into that fear and being with it. And today I feel lighter, and I feel more inspired to share with you some of the ways that I've been able to lean into the fear and be with it, and to see if they maybe help you as well. They don't include accidentally dipping your hair in bleach, although I was secretly hoping there would be a result. I don't think I'm going to see any action here. Okay, so for creatives, here is a list on how to put on your pandemic oxygen mask. Are you ready? Here's a little checklist. First things first, obviously very practical. Poetry. Just kidding, we'll come back to that. I don't think poetry is impractical. I think it is vital and necessary. But that was just a joke for now. We'll come back. But I would say, are you taking the time to get up in the morning and unplug and be with whatever source you have that connects you to a sense of vitality and bigness outside of yourself, and puts you in the vibration of making that can sustain you when a lot of us are losing money and losing jobs and having to cancel things and having to reschedule things. I'm still reaching out and touching my inspiration station as often as I can. The second thing is Do you have a steady creative practice? I know it feels silly and selfish during wild times to prioritize nurturing your creativity, but I kind of think that's part of what art is for. It's to take broken hearts, turn it into art. And I think this is one woman in Utah's opinion. I think that part of our responsibility as artists is to share the experience we have in alchemizing huge feelings, huge emotions, huge wounds, places where we've been cut and extra light has gotten in, and to have a turnaround weight with all of that feeling and make it into something that then serves to hold space for other people's big emotions. So I know that this kind of creativity in my darkest, cannot get out of bed, terrified moments, that I have reached for art. I have reached for literature. I have reached for music. There's a reason I carry around poetry, not because I'm just a light, airy fairy, but because I walk around with a darkness that needs constant connection to some kind of light in order to have the motivation to keep walking. And so establishing a creative practice, which is some kind of 20-minute a day thing that you can do to practice your creativity, could be the thing that passes that light off to somebody else, that allows them to then have more bigness around their own feelings of fear that might be shutting down their body and keeping them from being able to think clearly or to feel empathy for other people who are struggling. So get your creative practice going. Don't forget it if you can. A creative practice, I know I am so aware of the level of privilege I have that allows me creative practice. But maybe something I also want you to be aware of is I sacrifice a lot to prioritize it in terms of time, relationship, commitments, because of how much I believe in the power it has to touch and restore and bring wholeness to people. So prioritize your creative practice. Second. Do you have a daily way to make an elemental connection? What the hell is an elemental connection? It means, can you touch and draw energy from a natural source bigger than you? Let's just get weird. Let's just lay it out. Sometimes I go to the mountains and I put my face against rocks. I don't know if that's okay with the virus right now, so I'm not doing it. But other times I just look up at the sky, even a few inches of sky. A few inches of sky to get past the smallness sometimes of here and up to the bigness out there. Touching the ground. Have you ever noticed that in our moments of heartbreak and deep pain that we often fall to our knees? I think there's something in us that knows to surrender, and also something in us that is called to connect to the earth, to the dirt that was here before we came and will still be here after we are gone, and to surrender. So elemental connection, if you're in a city, if you're in a place where you can't go outside, splash some water on your face. You don't have to take a bubble bath with candles, but can you light a candle? Can you touch fire or water or earth or wind? I bet you can. Whew. Okay. Schedule. bet you didn't think I was going to talk about a schedule for creatives, did you? Here's the thing. If all you can do is be shut down and be thinking about the many ways your livelihood is threatened right now, I understand. There's always a period of the day when I need to do that. We can't skip it. We got to feel it. We got to go through it. So if that's true for you, I get it. But sometimes we have to tap into the biggest help for all of that overwhelm that we are feeling. And for me, the biggest help is saying yes to adding some structure to the chaos, because I know, and I have known from experience, and I have known from spending many days in bed and not active, that just breeds on, perpetuates and feeds into my mental and emotional instability. And if I can discipline and know and trust that if I make a schedule for my creativity and also a schedule for my kids that allows me to be creative, and also discipline myself to go to bed and wake up and then honor that schedule instead of scroll through everything, that goes a lot further to help me stay sane and grounded. Not because I'm trying to be hyper productive, but because I always want to do what it takes for me to stay centered, because when we are centered, that is when we can work from the greatest wisdom, empathy, consciousness, and creativity, which means that's when we're most capable of being useful and helpful to other people. So, last thing on your checklist. Money. We're creative. Creativity, to me, includes being really good and having fucking fun with problem solving. So things are getting canceled, things are getting shut down. Can you ask yourself, is there a creative way that you can reach out to somebody you know who has been affected by this, that you can think of another way to support what they are offering, what they are selling in terms of their art? Can you give them your dollars? That didn't really come out right. I was supposed to leave off the R, but as you can see, I'm white. Can you give them your dollars and spread all of that goodwill out and support small businesses? Can you buy gift cards? Can you particularly support small businesses owned by marginalized groups? That would be so wonderful. I have decided I'm going to invite, by which I mean force my kids to learn a choreographed dance with myself. I've been wanting to do it for years, and you know what? This period of time has given me the courage. So I reached out to my daughter's dance studio, who had to shut down like so many places, a small business, and I asked if I could pay them to record a video of choreography that my children and I will be learning together, that my children and I will be fighting together as I wave the overly optimistic mom banner and be like, this is worth it, guys. This is fun. Are we having fun yet? I know they'll remember it fondly. So what's a creative way that you can support another creative? What's an awesome way you can spread some dollars around? And lastly, this one's tricky for me, and I'm wondering how you all out there are carrying it with needing to reschedule and serve my clients and not just cancel on them, but reassure them that I will make space to honor the commitments that I have made to co-create with them and to make photos with them. That means that rescheduling to a later date for me as a creative means I lose that date to make money. And I am looking at my year, as I'm sure so many of you are, and thinking, okay, there goes that revenue revenue stream. There goes that revenue stream. And I'm having to use my creative problem solving Tim gun that lives inside of me and knows I can make it work to think about I still have to work during this time. I still have to, in a way that is safe and respectful of the social distancing and quarantining that I really hope we are all adhering to for the sake of those whose immune systems are compromised or who are people who are not as healthy as us, and the sake of our healthcare system. I hope we are all doing that. God damn it, what was I saying? I really can't remember. Am I gonna edit this out? I don't know. Something I lost about social. I still have to ask for your money for things. I still have to sell you stuff. I am trying to help, and I also gotta help me. And that's okay. I'm not ashamed of that. I think it's important, and I think that actually I'm one of the lucky people that even has a way to continue to do that. So I want to let you know there are still creative counsel sessions available if you are struggling to do any of the things that I just gave you ideas and awesome tips about how to do. If you need a little more guidance on what you can come up with, what you can offer, how you can use this downtime to stretch and expand creatively, how you can create some marketing for your business for your upcoming year that nobody knows what's going to happen during, or if you just want to talk. I'm here. I'm here for creative counsel. And good news for those of you who are watching your dollar bills more closely, I'm giving away a free creative counsel session. It was planned with Pick Time before all of this madness because I love Pick Time so much. They're an incredible company, and they're always asking if they can give away my things, including creative counsel. So you can head over there and figure out how to enter to win that free creative counsel session with me. And this little video was me trying to do my part to give you bits of the creative counsel that you don't have to pay for, that can benefit everybody. Whew. Okay. Lastly, feelings. I want to take a second to hold space for anyone out there who is so triggered by previous trauma or experience or fear or existing threats right now that their bodies are so contracted in fear that you just can't even with any kind of call to create in nothing. 2 questions that I hope can help you. 1, you don't have to do anything. Just stay here. Just be in it. I support you. But if you want a little help, maybe try asking yourself, what do I feel? What do I feel? Then try to locate that feeling. Locate it in your body. I feel most things. Fear, inspiration, excitement, most of it. They live right here in my gut, in my belly. And there's all kinds of amazing research across every field being done right now that we are not removed from this mind, body, soul connection. And we are seeing it. Our bodies are calling us to be checked in with. So if you can locate what you're feeling in your body, and you can send your breath there, send your mind there, and ask yourself, can I be with this? Can I be with this and breathe through it? That's gotten me through some really rough frozen, immobile, paralyzed times. Like yesterday when I woke up at 3 a.m. That's all I did, and it's not like a miracle happened, but it was enough to be with hours. I laid there for hours. Be with that feeling until it passed. So, good luck. Cheering for you. I believe in us. I forgot. You know what? I haven't showered. I promised you a poem. I love Hafiz. He is a Sufi poet master, and his poems are quick and simple and funny and ecstatic and wild. I'm going to read you one. This is called Act Great. What is the key to untie the knot of your mind's suffering? What is the esoteric secret to slay the crazed one whom each of us did wed? And who can ruin our hearts and eyes' exquisite tender landscape? Hafiz has found 2 emerald words that restored me, that I now cling to as I would sacred tresses of my beloved's hair. Act great, my dear, always act great. What is the key to untie the knot of the mind's suffering? Benevolent thought, sound, and movement.